So, hey guys, Chauzu here. So in this video we're going to be using double V1 Rayleigh against Hawkins Forest. And this is the first time I do a chain captain team against this content. There are a few things standing in the way of that. One main thing is the fact that you take a lot of damage during this content, so the usual plan is that you get a lot of recovery orbs, you keep them, you avoid hitting perfects, you can keep healing in the future. But that's kind of hard with chain captains because if you don't hit perfects, you don't do any damage. So I decided to use Perospero. And on this team, everything Perospero does is give that great lock, and only to the subs, not to the two captains, since Rayleigh isn't striker or driven. And it kind of works out with chain captain teams because you don't have to hit hard with every unit. It just means that the subs will be the main ones doing the damage. I chose Big Mom for the Semla orbs, and I thought maybe her end of turn could have some nice implications, but it ended up having some unexpected consequences. But to be honest, it just made the run even more interesting, so I'm very happy I chose this Big Mom. But yeah, I'm going to stall a bit this turn. I didn't realize how big of an effect this Big Mom will have on this stage. The lightning effect does remove 1 turn of damage threshold every turn. So by the time the barrier runs out, the damage threshold will as well. I'm waiting to kill though because I need to stall out the burn. I can't hit perfects because of the burn. I can't hit greats because then I removed the Semla orbs. And hitting goods does nothing against chain cap. So I was like, let's just stall out the burn too. I can heal forever with this team. But then I noticed that, oh, Hold'em takes so much damage here. And I was like, is that okay? And this is actually hilarious. Look what Hold'em does now. After damage, of course. Here it is. He will do 10 turns the spear and 10 turns bind the subs. This was not planned, but this is so hilarious because I'm running like literally the only captain in the game that can counter that. It's absurd, to be honest. So I was like, okay, let's roll with that. And another fun thing with this is that we actually end up getting the perfectly locked orbs. So this means that we start with great lock in the Semla orbs. Now the goal is to get rid of the perfect lock in time to great lock the Semla orbs again. So it ended up being a very unique playthrough of Hawkins Forest. Very funny. Didn't take that long, honestly, to get it right, so I'm pretty happy. And I got to use some new units. We will use Yak next stage, and as many times we two Chauzu Manchu ended up being MVPs for this team. Maybe even more than usual because their damage output, I've never done a team when it matters so much. Like both Chauzu being Psy and they being quick were both very nice throughout this content and basically essential. Obviously Rayleigh is int, so final stage will be int Hawkins, so Chauzu Manchu Psy will be nice, and it's also very nice against this stage. I'm going to wait a turn until I use Yak. This is the Kisuna Rare Recruit Yak. He removes Special Bind and Death Up, which is perfect for this content. The reason I'm doing all perfects here is to get rid of the perfect lock at the perfect timing. By doing that full round of perfects, the perfect lock will disappear. So the next turn I can use both Big Mom and Perospero again and set up the great lock. So yeah, he also does color affinity for Dex Powerhouse Striker. And the striker part is very good here since Chauzu Manchu are indeed strikers. And every turn I use Yak special, I rely on them for damage. So Yak is actually pretty essential for this team because damage final stage is pretty tight. We're stalling 1 turn here, both to get rid of the decreased defense, as well as get Rayleigh special ready, because we lack damage otherwise. But he obviously decreased chain, and chain lock debuffs are the bane of chain cap's existence, but that's basically the only one it appears in this run. And yeah, the damage is actually pretty tight on this stage too, but not that bad. And having 2 dex units actually helps here. It's the only stage in the run it kind of matters. So moving on to the next stage, which was the most annoying one. I went through this stage twice. Both times I failed to kill the entire stage in one turn. I'm pretty sure it's possible by optimizing the tap timings, but it's okay to not kill in one turn. It just means you have to stall a few minutes extra, which sucks, but this is just a showcase anyway. It's a fun concept of a team. But they have used Big Mom. She gives an ore boost to Sai and Int, so most of the team. I start hitting with the Dex unit on Soba, and then my plan is to change to Sorrow, kill him in 1 hit, then back to Soba, kill him and 2 hits on Law, but I missed out, that's so close. And keeping Law alive really sucks because he will do special reverse the entire crew, so we have to stall that back later. The thing is that he does that every turn, I'm pretty sure, so it's usually very hard to take him out at this stage. But yeah, with chain caps we can really focus the damage on 1 unit, and this Shirahoshi will do enough to kill. So we move on, and yeah, I'm going to be speeding up the game a lot here because I need to stay here until Shirahoshi Manchury has 2 CDs. That's 9 turns of stall basically, so no need to go through that. We can discuss the plan for the rest of the run. So after this stage we have Kaido stage, and I knew that stage was going to suck because that stage has the burn, and burn is also very bad for chain caps. Usually you can ignore burn by hitting greats, but obviously not with this team. If you hit perfects, you die from burn. If you hit great, you remove the Semla orbs, and if you hit good, you don't do any damage. I have to remove the burn. It's the main reason I put Shirahoshi and Manchury on the team, and that's why we stall for their special. So we're going to use Shirahoshi and Manchury to remove it. I will use 1 V1 Rayleigh to get an ore boost, and then for the revive we get special binded. But we're not going to remove that, we're saving Yak for final stage because final stage has staff up as well, and we also want his color affinity for Shirahoshi and Manchury. And yeah, final stage damage is pretty tight, but we can talk about that when we get to the final stage. It's pretty dope. I actually failed it my first run, but it was a stupid mistake on my part. But yeah, I've already gone through the strat. I enter the stage as Sai Shirahoshi because otherwise Kaido will special rebind you. But by being Sai, we can ignore that, swap to quick now, and now we use the special. Chain boost is a nice little extra bonus, but if you have an experience in chain caps teams, you should know that chain boost make very little difference for chain captains. They hit very high chains anyway. One very fun thing with this team is that Perspira does have chain boundary, but because Rayleigh is slasher and fighter, you can't get the chain boundary, it's class dependent. But Perspira actually has a very bad chain boundary for chain captains. It caps at 15 times, so once you hit 15, you can't go past that. Like you see here, we hit 25 times chain, it will have stopped at 15. So that will have been very bad, so I'm actually happy that everything Perspiro did was that great lock. Anyway, final stage. There's going to be the spear here as well, but obviously V1 Rayleigh handles that. He also had the spear on an earlier stage, I forgot to mention that, but Shirahoshi Manchury's swap will have handled it there too. It's more important here. We use Big Mom first though, we get a 2.5 times ore boost for Sai and Int, which is most of the team. I use Perspira just for a flex, doesn't matter. And then Rayleigh removed the spear, and we will also buff the ore boost from Big Mom from 2.25s to 2.8 times, so that's pretty cool. So suddenly we have a bit higher buffs. The first run I used Relic Special first for some reason, and I lacked quite a bit of damage. I was like, it should be enough if I just use Big Mom first, and it ended up being true. But yeah, that's the team. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.